Welcome to episode 45. So we're gonna change up the gears from what I said in the last episode. My assumption was that it was gonna be a great idea for me to, start unlocking some of the master arts for a lot of the characters, which I had not done so yet. I know we had unlocked the master art for Haru, or all of them for her, and obtained the trophy in the last episode. But then I realized, after doing some thinking, I think it's going to be a little redundant going after something like that this early on, and it's probably something that's easier to tackle, or at least worth more tackling post game, because then you have access to a lot of enemies that you can re-grind off of, and of course, do some dire shadow farming, and that's referring to a lot of these shadows which are super strong, right? And we can't really get to that right now, or rather we can, but once you defeat them, you can't retry the fight to get more experience. So instead, what I'll be doing in this episode is probably going after Akira Konoe. I think on the leveling side, we're just about there, but we don't know until we try. So party members wise, I do want to stick with some of the people I had for that lockkeeper fight, right? And that includes Ryuji Mikoto. And instead of Sophia, who we had last time, we're going to stick with Zenkichi, because he does have a good set of buffs and debuffs. And of course, attack power wise, he's also on the ball. He might be slightly lower level when you compare him to, say, Joker or some of the others, but I think it's worth a shot. And so, as usual, I'm gonna make sure I'm good on the items game. Because considering this guy is kind of sort of endgame, we should probably just go all out and buy everything we can, especially HP and SP restoratives. I think there's a possibility that I could be at a lower level than necessary, considering the difficulty of this playthrough, which is normal. But I don't think we're gonna know until we try. So we're, right above 500,000 as far as yen goes, which is very good. I don't think I have enough ingredients to be able to cook the things I want, but I don't think that's important because I do have everything I need. So let's go with a paranoia save as usual, and we'll give it a shot.
Some kind of card? Wait, that's...
Phantom thieves? Is it actually real?
Is it the blimp? Yes, it is.
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, looks like we're live.
So, I just talk into this?
You're on, man. Just say it.
Okay. Are you listening, Konoe? Toying with innocent lives, slandering us. You've been busy, but so have we. Now it's payback time. Ready or not, here we come!
To the villain who thinks he's a hero, Akira Konoe. You stole the desires of countless people.
And tonight, we're baking them, taking them.
You had one line.
I meant to say that, baking them, like in an oven. It's a practice.
You can only imagine what the audience is thinking.
Phantom Thieves. Impossible! To the criminal tyrant masquerading as a hero, Sir Akira Konoe. All subsequent references will henceforth be shortened to Party A. Party A has wronged multiple innocents by flaunting a false sense of justice and shifting the blame for the murder of one of his employees. On top of that, Party A is also guilty of wrongfully imprisoning a group of minors. Therefore, in addition to putting out a formal warrant of arrest for Party A's crimes, tonight the Phantom Thieves will commit some larceny of their own and take back every desire you've stolen? Is this some kind of joke? Emma, what the hell is going on? I thought we trapped them in the jail.
Unable to answer. Please ask a different question.
Don't give me that, Emma! I'm your master! Now answer me, damn it!
Unable to answer. Please ask a different question. Unable to answer.
God damn it!
Okay.
You think you can change my heart? You wretched little urchins! I won't be defeated so easily. Taking back the desires? You think you can steal from me? Fools! I am the very hero these people have been praying for.
So it looks like this is going to be his actual appearance, which is in the form of Zephyrman.
The Phantom Thieves are the evil that stands in the way of that. Come now, let's see who changes who.
Konoe's probably losing it right about now.
Dispensing the calling cards from the enemy's own airship. What a truly impeccable strategy.
How much you want to bet the police are already all over that thing?
Aw, won't it be sad when they find out we were broadcasting from a remote location? Nice job, Mona and Zenkichi.
Yeesh. That was some contraption you put together.
You did good too, Sophia. All I did was search the web for a blueprint we could use. Was it okay for us to leave it on the airship, though? Nah, I built it using a bunch of junk parts you can find just about anywhere. We're in the clear.
Word has certainly reached Konoe by now.
Yeah, but that calling card. You couldn't have added a little more spice there, Gramps?
To the criminal tyrant masquerading as a hero, Sir Akira Konoe. All subsequent references will henceforth be shortened to Party A. Party A has wronged multiple innocents by flaunting a false sense of justice and...
Party A?
It's an arrest warrant. Is there a problem?
It's supposed to be a calling card. What the hell's this Party A crap?
Oh, shut up. Real big talk coming from the guy who screwed up his line.
What? Look, I told you I didn't screw up.
We're baking them!
They got jokes. Haru's got jokes.
You said it. Next time, we'll teach you how to write with style.
I'll pass. Besides, if things go well, hopefully this will be my first and my last.
The last calling card. Huh. Kinda sad when you think about it.
Hey, this fight's just getting started.
Alright, here we go. Time for the big finish.
And to kind of think of it, bond skill points are also another thing that we would work on post-game, since it becomes a lot easier.
Everybody ready? So this is the final battle. Let's change Konoe's heart and put an end to this. Yeah, let's give it everything we've got. It's time to teach these creeps a lesson.
Shadowing sun. Better keep moving. All right, let's get moving.
Alright, so do I have to fight this guy? No, I don't, thankfully.
Sorry to keep you waiting, you goateed prick.
We're here to straighten out that crooked heart of yours.
So you've come. A warm welcome to the terrorists who toy with others' hearts in the name of their self-righteous justice. The infamous Phantom Thieves.
As if you've any right to talk. You who repeatedly takes control of whomever you please.
And you even tried to pass us off as a bunch of killers. You're the real bad guy here.
Huh. It would appear you haven't realized just how similar we are.
What?
We're one and the same. We both detest this rotten society and struggle day after day to combat it. With our power to change hearts, we strive to incite change among the masses.
Don't kid yourself. There's no way you're the same as us.
We all know about your past. It must have been terrible for you, but still. What you're doing now makes you no better than a common criminal.
I change hearts in order to exterminate the evils of this world. Are we not essentially the same? I'm simply introducing a system to keep things in order. And by creating monarchs, I'm ensuring everything plays out according to plan.
What are you talking about?
When the cognitive world revealed itself to me, I took it as an act of divine revelation. It was my birthright to change this godforsaken planet. With the cognitive world in my grasp, I could wipe all evil from the face of the earth. I would not waste such an incredible gift. But in order to see that dream realized, I needed a world that could be controlled.
Controlled? What do you mean?
I needed a world that would allow me to erase even the slightest traces of evil from people's subconscious minds. To that end, I required something that could reach everyone and bring them to submission. Yes, it seems AI was the solution to that problem. Thus, the next step was to acquire Emma and have it learn more about cognitive science at the research lab in Okinawa. The end results were the jails created by Emma. Unique cognitive worlds in which no heart, no matter how cold, could resist being changed.
You're saying Emma made the jails?
So that's why the jails were left standing even after we defeated the monarchs.
The jails aren't perfect, mind you. A jail's area of effect only covers roughly one city. Peculiar how such a phenomenal power has such a limited range. In order to change the hearts of all humanity, I needed nothing short of an army of monarchs. So I began gathering pawns, powerless, lamenting puppets who felt as hopeless on this earth as I once did. And do you know what happens when you grant people like that the power to change hearts? They welcome their newfound power with open arms. And by using Emma to guide them, keeping them under control is a menial task. With the monarchs I'd personally selected, I could change the hearts of the festering rabble who calls this rotten place home. With the monarchs at my command, I could change the heart of anyone who dares step out of mine. That was the endgame. Operation Oraculi. But you phantom thieves had to show up and ruin everything.
So when we started taking down your jails, you got scared that your plan would fail. That's why you used the police and turned Akane into a monarch. It was all an attempt to stop us.
It's not too late. I can still erase these obstacles and start over. You're still so naive. But eventually, even you will come to understand. Fight all you want. The most you can do is change the hearts of a scant few. Don't you see that my way is far more efficient?
So everything will be fine as long as you're the one making all the decisions? Who do you think you are? Some kind of god?
You're just forcing your ideas on everyone else!
What foolish logic. So when you change people's hearts, it's right. But when someone else does it, it's wrong. I've built an entire infrastructure for changing hearts. What was impossible for you, I have made a reality. As a hero, I will reign over the whole world with infallible justice.
You used Akane for this ridiculous plan of yours? She was just an innocent girl. Everyone you'd made a monarch had some form of trauma. But you treated them like tools. Even toyed with their lives. You don't know the first thing about justice.
Then do you believe you could have saved me?
Huh?
Let's say you had been around back then. Could you have saved me from my father? I had nowhere to run. I was just a scared, helpless child left to suffer by himself. Well, could you really have saved me? Even now, there are surely others being brought up in the same hell that I was. And yet you've done nothing to help them.
Well, that's...
You only destroy the evils you just happen to come across. But you'll never save everyone. Me, however, I have the power to change the entire world. No one will ever have to suffer as I did ever again. And to do that, you need something beyond what the Phantom Thieves can offer. You need more than some childish heroic fantasy.
But that's not justice. All you're doing is brainwashing everyone. You're taking away their freedom, who they are.
And what's the difference? Both of us change the hearts of others against their will. So how am I any different from you?
Don't you understand?
What?
For you, changing someone's heart means imprisoning them. But for the Phantom Thieves, it means setting them free. You may steal desires like them, but the Phantom Thieves give people hope.
I feel like that's the first time Sophia has spoken up,
Maybe you don't realize it.
at least in a long while.
Deep down, you know you're nothing like them.
It seems there's little point in discussing this further. If we can't reach an understanding, then only one side can remain. It's time to decide which of us truly walks the path of justice.
Oh, okay. So clearly this fight will be a long one.
There aren't any real heroes left. So, why not make our own? The world needs someone willing to fight for its people's justice. A hero to lead them, to unify them. A hero like me!
Alright, so it's basically a Mecha Zephyr Man suit.
And if I'm the hero, that makes you the villain.
Alright, let's do this. Assuming he has the same weaknesses as the Lockkeeper of this jail. Theoretically, we should be okay. Well, let's see. Alright, so what are we looking at here? He is weak to Zeo-based skills, and what else do we have? I think that's it, at least from Joker's side. So what we'll do, we'll start focusing on buffs and debuffs. Ooh, okay.
Here, of this, try this. It's more like a kick toy to me. Try this. I think I'm doing this, but let's give it all we got. Sure.
Naga! Neko Shoka! Naga! Neko Shoka! I'll use this. Let's go.
I feel like buffs and debuffs take a lot out of you, especially at the beginning of the battle. It's a lot of overhead, and of course, you know, the person you're controlling in order to do the buffs and debuffs, they're basically a sitting duck. You cannot, you know, there is no moving around, I think. Alright, I think that's the best I can do for now. Buffs wise. Let's work towards some of these skills here. And I think for this fight, I wouldn't be afraid to just straight up kill it with the skills. And, you know, risk burning some SP. Let's see. I'd be willing to bet. Yeah. So he is weak to nuclear skills, just like the previous Lockkeeper. So that makes perfect sense. So let's go ahead and just pretty much go insane with Zeo and nuclear-based skills. And of course, keep on the buffs and, you know, debuffs accordingly. You can also score some technicals, supposedly, with these nuclear-based skills as well. And it helps to take advantage of those one more shots as well. Kind of like that. So we've taken down, I mean, it can't be that easy. I think something's coming up. He clearly has to have, you know, multiple forms. If we've already gotten him down to 75% health. So, and of course, we've gotten him down on his knees right now. So clearly you want to take advantage of that. Switch back to Joker. Keep hitting them with these weaknesses. And just keep the pressure. He hasn't really hit us yet, at least not hard enough for people to start feigning or, you know, start just being on the brink of death. But we do have a lot of our SP restoration necessary. So let's get Joker back up to speed. We need Ryuji as well, and of course Makoto. Things Zenkichi wise were looking okay. We haven't really been able to leverage his skills in this fight outside of just buffs. This guy can move around the battlefield here and there, but I don't see any sort of quickness. And here's another all-out attack. So, I mean, it can't be this easy. I'm waiting for this guy to basically change into another form or something. I mean, just like that, he's down yet again. And we're not even at a high enough level to be able to say, oh, okay, we're just straight up having zero issues with this. Gotta move out of the way. And at some point, I would probably want to kind of work our way again through the buffs and debuffs, since they do disappear over time. They are not by any means permanent. Gotta move out of these, the missile trajectories. Ooh. Oops. I think we're gonna be right back to square one with the SP again. And we're almost there. We've gotten him down to his dying breath, at least for this form. And, you know, like I said, it just makes no sense for him to be going down this easily. So let's see. I mean, for a semi-final boss, nothing crazy so far. He's still in his suit, right? So he has to... That has to be the second form. Right. That's more like it.
Gotta put him down one last time.
Come on, phantom thieves.
And hopefully this part 2 is the last part. Because any more, that would get kind of crazy.
A hero must stand his ground. You must not let evil overcome you.
He may be our enemy, but you've got to admire his determination.
Men or not, really taking it up a notch. Watch your backs, guys.
Hopefully, he's not super fast speed like that doppelganger for Joker, right? Because that would be quite troublesome. And let's see. Unfortunately, we did not retain any of the buffs and debuffs from that last fight. So that is pretty annoying, I will say. But either ways, let's get back up to speed on the SP side first. Eventually, we're gonna be burnt out of SP as well. So let's try to make the best of it. I'm not sure if I have any more outside of those. So a few more, looks like. But let's try to be conservative. Let's see if I can kind of... Oh, and there's things you can move towards as well. What is this doing? I don't know what that did. Assuming he still has the same weaknesses, which he does. Let's see if we can start using some of this stuff. He hits pretty hard. And that did do something. From a Zeo standpoint. And he is, thankfully, still weak to... nuke skills as well. Beef. So a lot of times moving to these things kind of gets you criticals. But you kind of have to time it right. I like that right there. That was kind of dumb. So you kind of have to use that carefully. And I think at some point, probably near the 50% range, we're probably going to have to switch to just physical moves only. Because I don't see how we cannot run out of SP by that time. But thankfully, we do have a bunch of these HP restoratives. So we can certainly burn through those like crazy. Whoops. And you can certainly use these combination skills from your teammates, as well as these things. So how are we looking progress-wise? We just hit 75% of his HP. He is very quick compared to his previous form, I will say. But, you know, I don't see like a crazy defense system or anything. So it's not like he has received any sort of defense upgrades. I mean, my strategy here is simple, right? Keep the buffs and debuffs going, be quick about it, and then hit him with the weaknesses, try to utilize things in the environment, and it looks like we've hit a Showtime gauge moment. That's pretty cool. But of course, that's not going to be doing crazy amounts of damage. It did help. And during the moments when he's down, right, these bosses, that's when you want to just hit him with everything you have. I do have to restore SP yet again. So let's burn through the rest of these items while we have the chance. And thankfully this one also applies the Mark Kukaja effect, which is great. Definitely of some use. Yeah, that is of no use. I mean, I've used it multiple times now just to assert just what the heck I can do with that. It's not gonna do anything to this guy unless you have like a clear line of sight on him. All right, well, and now we'll go back to another SP restoration. This is really good since it recovers 40 SP plus that other effect. So that'll really help us out. And we're almost done here. So assuming he has no more gimmicks, we're probably just about done. Yeah, he is not anywhere near as mobile as some of the other bosses we fought before. And I think that really makes the fight that much easier. So as you can see, we're almost done here. We could be done with this last attack, which I think we are. So we lost a bunch of SP recovery items, but not too bad. So is that the end? I guess it is. Deathbound. Let's replace this one, although I'm not a fan of HP usages as far as skills go. And this is very good. Fully restores HP, right? So we will replace this guy right here. Heat Riser is very necessary. That is a great skill to have. Gun boost, I could really care less. We'll stick with this.
No, not yet. The hero can't be defeated like this. I am the enforcer of justice. You would deny me, Joker? Our definitions of the word are one and the same.
Dude, even we don't know what justice really is. And we don't mean to say that what we're doing is always right either.
But we're definitely not just gonna sit back while you tell everyone what to do.
It's true, there are days when I wish to immerse myself in my work. Days when I'd rather be wandering around town. There are also days when I wish simply to spend time with those close to me. To throw all of that away and do only what the person in front of you says. Why, at that point, you're nothing but a slave to fate.
All you're doing is taking away people's rights to choose for themselves and denying them their freedom.
When it comes down to it, it's no different from what your father did to you. Trampling upon the one thing that makes us human. That's the very evil you claim to hate.
Are you saying I'm the evil one?
We choose the roads we take. We don't let anyone tie us down. And we do so because we want to walk our own paths our own way.
But if I fall here, then what will become of the world? There are no heroes. I'm the only one who can save it.
Are you sure? I've seen the monarchs, and the people whose hearts you'd changed. They didn't look happy at all. I don't think you saved anyone doing what you did.
You know, Konoe, the world is full of evil, and there's plenty of scum out there who seem well beyond redemption. But there are some, like the Phantom Thieves, who refuse to give up. And there are people out there who, thanks to these guys, finally got the courage to crawl their way out of the darkest depths of hell. People who managed to awaken the hero inside themselves. Isn't that how we'll make this world a better place? What you're trying to do will just erase those heroes. Some before they even get their chance. Can anybody really know peace if they're forced to be stuck that way all the time?
I'd be erasing the heroes.
Konoe, it's not the people who need saving. If anyone needs it, it's you.
Huh?
Ever since you killed your father all those years ago, all you've ever done is run away, rotten as he was, having to live with the pain of killing your own flesh and blood, knowing that you could be caught at any moment. You were alone. And getting stronger was the only way you could protect yourself.
You're right. I killed my father. And I lied to escape the punishment. I called it justice, hoping that there'd never come a day when I had to face the truth. But what I did back then was just evil.
Then you know what you need to do, Konoe. The hero you keep inside needs to save you from that evil.
The hero I keep inside, I have to save myself. I see now. It's been right there with me, all along. Very well. I admit defeat. I'll confess my crimes and accept my punishment, whatever it may be. I'll destroy Emma as well. You have my word. Phantom Thieves, if it's possible, I only ask that you please prove to the world that I was defeated by the real heroes of this story. comes with a true sense of justice. Thank you.
And there you have it.
That's our cue. Let's get out of here, guys.
So I wonder what's going to happen to a lot of the jails, right, that Emma had spawned. Hopefully a lot of those are accessible, right, because endgame does require a lot of going back to the jails, especially to finish requests. There goes another trophy pop with the ending of Akira Konoe.
But we did it. Now we just have to wait and see. We certainly learned a lot. Emma, Konoe's big plan? Konoe said he taught cognitive science to Emma in order to create jails. Shutting down Emma should mean the jails will finally disappear.
So our names are probably in the clear too, right?
Well, that depends on Konoe's confession, but I'm thinking it'll probably work out that way. What's so funny?
Nothing. It's just those things you said back there. It was nice to hear you talk about us that way.
Agreed, though, in all honesty, I can't say I thought all of what Konoe said was wrong. However, your words reminded me of precisely why we do this, Senkichi.
That's one of the big reasons why we started the Phantom Thieves in the first place. To give courage to people.
Yeah, that speech was top, Senkichi. Gotta give you props for that one.
Any more of this, and I'd say you were proud of me.
I would certainly agree with, a lot of those Phantom Thieves are saying here. Anne, Makoto, Futaba, and the others. I would say Zenkichi has certainly come a long way. And, initially I was skeptical of his character, especially with him kind of working with Kaburagi behind the scenes. But he did turn out to be a pretty good character, I think. And character development-wise, he has come pretty far, I think.
Anyway, we've done what we set out to do. So, in the meantime...
Yeah, not gonna lie, a nice long bath sounds amazing right now. But since we're still here in Osaka, maybe we should get something to eat?
Hell yeah! Osaka Feast Round 2 coming at ya!
Then let's get our butts in gear. I'm talking deep-fried skewers, pork buns, okonomiyaki. Oh man, what else?
We've done nothing but eat since we got to Osaka.
Honestly, they've done nothing but eat a lot of times in general.
You're young. Don't worry about it. Today's on me. Get whatever you want.
Woohoo! Gramps got a heart of gold!
Leave the search to me. I'll find us whatever you guys want.
And our tour guide's coming in clutch.
Sheesh, don't get too carried away, guys. We've got big changes on the horizon, Osaka has a lot of top-tier sushi vendors, too.
Sushi? What are we waiting for?
Not so fast. Let us not forget the blowfish and crab hot pots.
Hot pot again? Whatever. Still down.
Hey, take it easy, you guys.
Spirit Striker, one more attacks. Didn't read that, but finally we have unlocked the last remaining bonus skill component. And of course, this is where Akira probably breaks down.
I am Akira Konoe, founder and CEO of Mediz. On behalf of the company, I have an announcement of grave importance. Recently, I stated my company had been targeted by the Phantom Thieves in an attempt to discredit our company. I now admit that this was a total fabrication, with no truth to it whatsoever. I, Akira Konoe, am the true culprit. I devised a plan to accuse the Phantom Thieves of a terrorist plot, so I could conceal my own heinous crimes. Specifically, so I could abuse Emma and gain control of people's hearts. I publicly admit The virtual assistant app, Emma, contains a function that allows me to manipulate other people. Using specific language, I could change their hearts and make them do as I wished. Yes, this process is essentially brainwashing, and I have scores of evidence proving it works. The change of heart epidemic that has plagued this nation is entirely my own doing. By controlling people's hearts, I was able to make them do my bidding across the entire country, including horrific crimes. This includes the death of Shuzo Ubukata, the head researcher of our Okinawa research facility. Instead of taking responsibility for my actions, I shifted the blame onto the Phantom Thieves. I must also confess, these are not my only crimes. Over 20 years ago, I claimed that my father was killed during a home invasion, when the one who really killed him was me.
And that's got to be rough to admit.
I took my father's life, then attempted to frame others for my crime, so I could avoid any repercussions. These are the crimes I confess to you all. As of today, I will be stepping down as CEO of Mediz and turning myself in to the police. Emma will be shut down. The AI will be wiped from the servers. All these terrible things were done for nothing but my own selfish desires. So now I must do the right thing and bring myself to justice.
Controlling people's hearts? Is that real?
Wait, Emma? Like the app Emma?
Oh shit! Better delete that.
Konoe-san! I thought you were a hero to this country!
I knew it. I knew the Phantom Thieves were really the good guys. Nice try there.
Oh yeah!
Yes! It really worked!
Comeback win for the Phantom Thieves. We've brought down the mastermind. Looks like the case is finally closed.
Once we confirm Emma's no longer running, our work will be done.
Yep. Once that's done, everything's up to the police and the courts. In fact, I'll head over and pick him up now.
Good luck.
I hope it goes well for you.
Yep. Well, off I go.
So I think it's too early for endgame.
Now, what should the rest of us do?
I think, I've said this before. There has to be another boss, or at least overarching, entity that controlled everything behind the scenes. Sure, we know that Akira Konoe pulled the strings as the CEO of Mediz, and he was pretty much controlling Emma. But I think, and I said this before, that we've seen these with several other Persona games in the past, where endgame is not usually like, for example, someone like Shido or Konoe or anyone else. It's usually another type of, crazy force that's behind the scenes and making crazy stuff happen, essentially.
We'll probably hear all about it tomorrow. At that point, I suppose we should get back to Tokyo.
So we're finally nearing the end of our journey.
What say we wrap it up with a round of sightseeing? It looks like Osaka has plenty to check out.
Ooh, sounds good here!
So, once the jails disappear, the trip will be over. You're right. A real flash. Hey, do you remember the deal we made? I joined the Phantom Thieves, and in return, I learned about the heart. I've experienced so much on this journey, and learned all sorts of feelings. But I still don't truly understand the heart. All this time, I've had the same query. what is the difference between you all and Konoe? He was trying to help people, wasn't he? And the Phantom Thieves do the same thing. However, everyone instead argues that Konoe was wrong. What exactly was wrong?
Of course, deep questions as usual from our wonderful friend and AI, Sophia. I've gotta say, probably this.
That is true. Konoe didn't have any true companions, but there's something else. The Phantom Thieves lived their lives following their beliefs, but Konoe and his monarchs, they couldn't do that. The Phantom Thieves must have strong hearts to live as they do. When our journey ends, I won't be able to help you anymore, and our deal will be finished. If the jails disappear, I won't be able to learn about myself anymore. What should I do? If I had a strong heart like the Phantom Thieves, maybe then I could choose my own path.
Now hang on there, Sophia. I think you got the wrong idea. Just because we're going back to Tokyo, that doesn't mean your deal's up, right?
Really?
You think I'm kidding? The jails may go away, but we've still learned a whole lot on this trip. And there's gotta be some evidence about your past here in the real world. So how's about we all go looking for it together?
Oh, you too?
Come on now, don't get me going too.
It feels like the position that Sophia's in this game, Mona pretty much took that same position in Persona 5, right? Trying to find himself and, you know, essentially not knowing about whether Mona was human or not. And so here we are.
Feel free to hang out in this guy's phone as long as you like. In fact, we'd welcome the company.
Thank you.
Yo, what's the holdup, guys?
Whoops. Looks like we're being slowpokes. Let's get going.
Mr. Konoe, what is going on?
Everything you said, was that true?
Please, settle down. I'm sure Mr. Konoe had his reasons for...
It's fine. I admit I've made so much trouble for you. I'm entirely to blame. I'm on my way to turn myself into the police now. I apologize for leaving the company in such a state.
Mr. Konoe.
Allow us to spare you the drive.
Excuse me, who are...
We're the police. Akira Konoe, you are under arrest. I'll spare you the list of charges.
How great it is to return a favor, Akira Konoe.
And you are?
The last monarch you installed was my only daughter. You toyed with and ruined countless lives, and now it'll be for nothing. You even used an innocent, grieving child for your own benefit. You're taking responsibility for what you've done.
I'm so sorry. I was so desperate. I disregarded something so important. Free will. I was on the verge of stamping out what makes us truly human.
It's funny how all of these monarchs, you know, they just completely drop at the end of their individual arcs, and they realize all these sorts of things that you don't even think about.
I haven't turned out any different from my own father.
On your feet. We'll hear it all at the station. All about the connection between Iwata and the top brass on our force.
There's nothing you can do to earn my forgiveness. But your confession can save the lives of a whole bunch of people. It's what you wanted, right? Now's your time to be the hero.
Huh?
It's all up to you.
Perhaps... No.
So he snapped out of it.
In that case,
Alright, so I was thinking we can get some new requests, but that's
this is the request.
not going to happen considering we've, I think, just about knocked out everything. This is the only thing that we have left. And we can take a look at some of these bond skill points that we've accrued up until now. So this was the one we saw earlier, Spirit Striker. 1 more attacks restore attacker SP, and all out attacks restore party SP, which is pretty amazing. And it makes sense for us to make this unlockable at the very end of the playthrough. And of course, we've yet to kind of max it out, but obviously it's pretty nifty, I think. And this one has also been unlocked as well, with that it being maxed out now. So all I have left now, right, is this one, and of course HP, SP, and other stats. So I think pretty good progress there on the bond skills point front. And let's see what everyone else is up to in town. And I'm pretty sure that progressing through the story now would probably mean, of course, time moving ahead and us going to potentially endgame.
Come on, come on!
Superb!
You're right. Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if this means Owada is actually endgame. You know, which would kind of be odd because he's just kind of been escaping through PubSec's claws for a while. But I hadn't realized that he would be, I guess, endgame, like I said.
Hey there. Oh. Mm-hmm. Aww. What's the plan? Yes. If that's so. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, that is out of nowhere.
Yep, yep.
That would be the superior choice. But it's good to keep him guessing.
Good grief.
It's like Christmas time all over again from Persona 5. Or was it Valentine's Day?
So let's toast to this totally closed case.
Cheers!
Soda really hits the spot after a job done right.
Okay, Gramps.
I'm curious, why Universal Land anyway?
You've gotta hit up Universal Land when you go to Osaka. Plus, I thought it'd make a fitting atmosphere for our celebration.
Ha, nice one, Lady Ann. You really know how to pick 'em.
Dude, you should try to get a job here. You'd make it huge in your Phantom Thief form.
Hey, don't treat me like some kind of mascot.
This place really brings back memories of celebrating last year. We shared a lot of our lives together.
Not just as the Phantom Thieves.
Although this experience was quite different from our time opposing the palace rulers, Alice Hiragi, Ango Natsume, Mariko Hyodo, Akira Konoe, there's no mistake they needed stopping. They each had very complex circumstances. This isn't to negate the crimes they committed, but it's impossible to simply write them off as evil.
You're right. They had all suffered so much.
Everyone loses their way or faces hardship at some point, and it always has the potential to make a permanent impact on someone. But the biggest testament to a person's character is what they do after their hardship.
As for the monarchs, they were all taken advantage of while they were lost. They changed the hearts of those around them to fit their ideals, and refused to accept their true selves. Still, such a fate could easily befall any one of us. If someone came to me, claiming to hold the means to solve all my problems when I was at my most hurt and desperate, I can't say I wouldn't have wound up in the same conundrum.
Yeah, I think we'll make it just fine.
There you go, trying to sound cool again.
If any of us were in trouble, none of the rest would leave him behind like that. I'd be totally screwed without you guys, but when I'm with you, I feel like I can take on the world.
Ryuji?
That's true. We should especially keep a close eye on Ryuji.
Ooh, the fist of justice may rise again yet.
Why's that gotta be the first thing you jump to?
He has a point. So long as we have each other, we will never stray from our path, no matter how.
The Phantom Thief.
Why are you saying that like you're not one of us, huh? You're a Phantom Thief too.
Right. Sophia, Zenkichi, and all of us make up the Phantom Thieves. Thank you, everyone.
All right, let's keep the good times rolling and live it up one last night in Osaka.
All right, so that brings us to the end of today's episode, and
My head's killing me. Still feeling all that soda.
just to recap, I mean, it was a pretty good fight with Akira Konoe, and with that being said, we certainly could have taken him on during the last episode when I had thought, oh, let's go and grind, go back to Osaka, you know, and farm for some experience. And we did a little bit to an extent, but I don't think all that is necessary. So, you know, some things we learned overall, I would say if you're around probably anywhere from level 50 to 55, like you should be okay, even on normal difficulty. And of course, if you're playing on easy, then it'll be even easier for you to kind of tear through both of his forms. Just make sure, like we covered earlier, to have Ryuji on deck. You definitely want to have those Zio skills. You also want to have Makoto, right? Who is Queen. where you have access to nuclear skills. And then, of course, last but not least, don't forget, you know, someone like Zenkichi, who is Wolf. I keep forgetting the code name just because he's the newest member of the Phantom Thieves. But yeah, absolutely, having him around and on deck will definitely help than anything, because he does have access to pretty good buffs and debuffs. And of course, you know, his attack power is on point as well. And the rest will probably be self-explanatory, especially if you have, you know, someone like Joker, where you have access to pretty much the same skills as Skull and Makoto. So you have 3 damage dealers, and you have another one that's kind of helping out on the support front. So pretty good fight, I think. And we are at August 28th now, so getting close to, I would think, endgame. And when we say endgame, we're truly talking about endgame here, because it's clearly not yet over. We still have Owada and whoever is controlling the strings from behind the scenes. So again, thanks for tuning in to today's episode, and we will see you next time.